All right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with our special guest.
My proudest moment is this interview. Being able to talk to you two guys.
I actually liked number one before better, but that's here nor there. All right, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics, in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions, proudly brings to you the Four Tales podcast. I am your host, Kyrun Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the periwinkle scribe of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick. And together we are here to help you find your next favorite comic book. Again, we are live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and a host of other programs. So if you're listening or watching to us live, thank you for your support. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up, share, host, and any other option that allows us to reach new followers. And again, if you haven't already, please like us on YouTube, review us on Apple Podcasts and whatever platform that you use to listen to us. I think that's all I have to say for now. I think I got everything.
That was a good intro, man. You're getting better and better every episode.
Every episode. I try to get better for you because I know you're always at top 10. So I'm trying to get to that point no matter what.
Terrible. You reading any good comics this week, man?
God, have I? Have I read comics? Yes. I don't know if I want to consider them good because they were not that good, actually. So I'm not going to put anybody under the bus, but I have read some comics today, or this week, I should say.
It happens, man. It happens like that. I watched the Injustice DC animated film.
Ooh, I heard that's good.
I liked it a lot, but apparently when I posted that on Facebook, I was wrong. Apparently, it's not a good film. And the comics and the video game are so much better. I didn't read the original run of the Tom Taylor comics, and I didn't play the video game. So to me, it was a good movie. But I decided to buy the season 1 trade, the first 31 issues of it, and I'm gonna read it. I started reading it, and it's I think of course the comic is gonna be better than the movie, of course. But
fair enough.
Okay,
but let's get back. Let's go back to what you just said initially. You said, I said I liked this, and I was told I was wrong. How can you like something but be told that you're wrong that you like it?
I don't know. It happened this week, though. They literally said, no, you didn't like it. It wasn't good. Okay, I didn't. I thought I did enjoy it. But, whatever.
Don't listen to the people on the internet. Don't do that, dude. Don't ever listen. No, I'm sorry. We are not gatekeeping this. If the boy likes it, he likes it. Yeah. You can judge what he likes. That's fine. But you can't tell him he's wrong for liking it. Like, he likes LeBron James and thinks LeBron is the greatest player ever. He can think that. He's wrong. No, okay, that point you're wrong.
Wait a minute, you just said not to do that, and then you went and did it.
Well, okay, but that's a factual argument, though. That's not what you like. That's just LeBron is not the greatest. Top 3, yes.
I'm not talking LeBron. I've been talking Jordan and LeBron for the past 4 years. It seems like I'm not doing it today unless
you bring it on yourself every time. You bring it on yourself.
Unless our special host wants to do it. Do you want to bring the young man on?
All right, we'll bring him on. He is a writer, a artist, a creator. He is a podcaster. He is heating things up in the comic book industry, from my understanding. He is Javon Stokes from Visually Stoked Productions. No, I can't remember now.
What's up, man? What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Great until right at the end.
Okay.
No, that was a good one. That was a good intro.
It's way too early for me to be doing this.
Dude, it's 10 a.m. on a Saturday.
No, it is not.
I'm operating at 49%, but that's all right. 49% for me is like 80% for Danny. So
okay. Now, did you say 49% because the 49ers played today and we're gonna beat the Packers? Is that what that was?
Listen, this has been a painful playoffs for me. I'm a Patriots fan, so I'm just rooting for Brady
to lose. Okay,
to win.
Cool.
Come on now.
All right. Well, when the Niners play him next week, we'll see what happens, and then. No, both of y'all shook your head. No, I'm wow.
Y'all have fun with that.
I'm rooting for y'all. I'm rooting for the 49ers, man. I am. Believe it or not. I don't want Green Bay to win.
But you do want Brady to win, even though he doesn't play for the Patriots anymore.
I mean, he's my favorite football player. So.
I think one thing we can agree on is that Tom Brady is the GOAT.
Tom Brady
is the GOAT, period.
How is he not the GOAT?
He's the greatest quarterback or he's the greatest player?
The greatest NFL football player to ever step on a field.
Nope. We will not agree upon that because Jerry Rice still holds that. And
Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver to ever play the game.
No, he is the greatest player to ever play the game. He still holds more records than any other player combined.
Jerry's impact on the game is not equal to what Tom's impact on the game is.
All right, that's the end of the show.
Tom
we don't need Javon no more.
I'm trying to tell you.
We don't need both y'all no more.
We can do this.
No. Brady is the greatest quarterback. I will give you that all day. He has revolutionized what we do as a QB, but Jerry is still the greatest player there ever was.
When your entrance into a franchise is followed by a solid 2 decades of dominance, including championships, multiple AFC championship appearances, when you've been to the Super Bowl 10 times in 20 years, 10 times in 21 years, that's half your career you've been in the Super Bowl.
See, I thought you were talking about Jerry Rice because he dominated through the 80s and 90s and then went to the Raiders and dominated there. I thought we were talking about Jerry Rice.
He was only in the Raiders for like 2 years.
Still dominated there?
And Brady won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay. He literally in his first year went and took the 7-9 Tampa Bay Bucks and won a Super Bowl his first year.
Okay, and what? You can't say that was all Brady, though. Look at everybody else they brought on with Brady.
Okay, did any of those people outside of Gronk win a championship before Brady? Antonio Brown couldn't sniff a Super Bowl.
Wait, didn't AB win one with the Steelers?
He did not.
Okay, well, he was sniffing something. But
yeah, we all agree on that. We can agree on that.
Nah. I think we don't have to end this early because I'm not going to sit here and listen to disrespect about Jerry Rice.
How am I disrespecting?
This is my show.
The greatest wide receiver ever.
He's the greatest.
This is the same argument I have with Danny about LeBron. Danny has a problem with me calling LeBron the second best player of all time.
No, I don't. I do not.
But you don't like when I don't call him the greatest?
Pre last week, I had a problem with it. Now I don't. If you think LeBron is the second greatest, now Morgan thinks LeBron is number 5, I believe. That I have a problem with. But
I can see the argument for why somebody would think he was 5, because then that's ignoring like Kareem and Bill Russell, and there's a host of guys that could be considered number 2.
Yeah.
Sure. But like for me personally, LeBron is the second. I have yet to see. I've never seen, outside of Jordan, I've never seen a player as dominant as LeBron.
I agree with you.
All right.
But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about you and your comics and how you got into the comic book industry, man.
Oh,
and,
this one right here.
Oh, he brought the heat.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, I'm always
the
ready.
Heat with him.
Damn.
So
yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
To my understanding, you got 3 issues out. That's what I went on and bought online the other day. I bought 3 issues of Heat. You only got 3 issues out, right?
So what you got was I did a 3-issue miniseries. I actually started out, it was supposed to be an ongoing, but I realized how hard it is to do an ongoing book, especially when I'm doing everything myself. So I decided to make it a 3-issue miniseries, and that's what you got. So you got the collected miniseries, and then after that, I did a graphic novel called The Black Flame. It was about a 72 page graphic novel, full color. And then after that, I said, I actually, believe it or not, between this book, this Heat book, and the Black Flame, I did another character because I I felt like I had reached burnout with Heat, which is not a pun that it wasn't done on purpose.
You made that.
I'm gonna say there's a lot of Heat references in this interview
there's a lot
already.
of fire. There's a lot of
Easy
fire
way to do
references in your comics. What's up with that?
But so I did another book. I did another one shot of a character, but I haven't published it yet because it's not complete. So once I kind of did everything like that, I started watching this documentary on, I believe it was Todd McFarlane. And like, it just got me charged up thinking about how he was laser focused on doing Spawn. And I said, I should probably get laser focused on Heat and just kind of like find a way to do it so that I don't not get tired of my character, but get burned out from the amount of work that it took. So then I turned around, and during the COVID pandemic, the early stages of it, that's when I did this one. And I'm doing it as an ongoing series now. So I'm hoping to get about 3 to 4 issues a year, 3 to 4 a year.
Nice.
That's unless I get some help, which I'm working on.
I mean, well, two decent writers, and then there's Kyrun here, who's a great artist. So you don't technically have to do it all by yourself. I mean, if you
I just need help. Like honestly, like if I could I just need to get a colorist, but I got to pay people.
Yeah, that's true. That's
if I pay people, it would be a problem.
I mean, the other thing you could do is go to a college and try to get an intern to color it for you.
I could do that. But I don't really like to do that. I prefer to pay people.
Yeah.
Just because, I know what, like I've had many people come up to me asking me to do stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, hey, it's good exposure." And I'm like, "Well, exposure is not gonna, put food on my table." So
I got kids. How many children you got?
I have 2 daughters and 1 3-year-old son, and my daughters are 17.
Oh, I didn't know they were 17. I thought all 3 of them were closer in age.
Well, my daughters are my stepdaughters, but they're my daughters.
Yeah, okay, got it. So. But I see your son almost every week. It seems like we at least get to see him grow over time. Yeah. So I know how it is. And Kyrun knows how it is. Doing all these comics and trying to, make time for your family and do the fatherly thing. Especially as a Black dad, you don't want to be absent in your kid's life. So, how do you manage to balance your time with your kids and your time building your business?
I'll let you know when I figure it out. No, no, really, it's just kind of I've decided to kind of, because of the pandemic and I'm working from home, I'm able to kind of work and do stuff. So I'm kind of multitasking. So I'm working at my job, plus I'm able to kind of draw as I'm working and stuff like that. And then late nights, a lot of late nights, just up drawing. And a lot of times, my son might be sitting there on his iPad, and that's when I kind of get some of the other stuff done. But I think before my son was born and I was doing comics, I was like, comics, because my daughters are older, they're teenagers, they don't really care, they doing their own thing. And it was just me, my wife, and the teenagers. So I had time, like I could go in my office and just draw. But when my son came along, I kind of made a decision that when he comes home from school, I'm going to try and give him as much as my time as I can. And then when he goes to bed, my wife and I, we switch. So like Mondays, it'll be like Monday, it'll be my day. I'll put him down, I'll give him a bath, everything. But then the next day it'll be hers. So when she's doing that, I try to sneak off and get some work done. But it's tough, man. It's a really difficult thing to do.
If you had the chance, now that you've gotten this comic book bug and you're addicted to it, but if you had to go back in time, would you do everything all over again?
Oh yeah, I'd do it earlier.
Yeah,
I'd do it way earlier. I would have done it like I graduated from Savannah College of Art and Design in 2009. Yes, 2009. I would have, and I tell people all the time, I would have started Visually Stoked then. as soon as I got out of school, and not did the whole jump through hoops trying to get a job with somebody. I would have just said, I'm doing Visually Stoked. This is what I'm doing. And then just got off running. I would have actually started while I was in college. Comics is in my blood. It's how I learned how to read.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I've had that same issue, especially now that I have my 3 kids and my oldest is now an adult. I'm like, damn, I should have started this before. Like, I don't know what hold me back, but I should have done this earlier. I should have been doing this probably when I was in my 20s, just like you, when I probably was in college and I had all these great ideas. I should have just been sitting down and drawing, because I feel like my style, my artwork has probably been hindered because I had so many gaps in between of just not doing anything. So I'm pretty sure a lot of other creators have that same issue.
So there's actually, I hate talking about this because you know how you always talk about, people always talk about how many shots you miss before you actually hit. Mm-hmm. There is a comic out there. I did a comic book a long time ago. So real quick, I went to SCAD from about 99 to 02 before I took a break. And in between from like 02 to like 06, 07, I was working from, I came back home and then I was working and everything. And during that time, I said, I want to do a comic book. Now, I knew about comic books, like the process to make one, but I didn't know like how hard they were to make. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like knowing how to sing and making an album. Mm. So I sat down and did a book called The Dark Path, which I will do again. But the art was, it wasn't great because I didn't do a lot of things that I learned doing this comic book about using references and pacing and timing and scripts and everything like that. Like I kind of was learning on the fly. So I did this comic book back then, and I printed out copies like with a printer, and then like with a heat sealer, like did a heat seal around the edge to make the book.
Dang.
And I thought I was going to be like, I thought I was just going to walk into a Comic-Con and just get a job. So I went to, where was it? It was Wizard World, Philadelphia, I believe. Oh no, Boston, Wizard World, Boston. And I just started like passing them out, like to every comic book big name. Who did I pass it to? I passed it to Jeff Johns. I literally cut the line. There was like a huge line for Jeff Johns, and I just walked up to the thing and I said, "Here, just take my book, read it. I don't need your signature. I just want you to read it." And then I got what's his name? It was an editor from Marvel. I cornered him and gave him the book, and he stood and he read it in front of me. And he was like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then he sent me on my way. And I think I kind of got discouraged. And I think I was like, maybe I'm not ready for this. And then that's when I kind of started focusing, getting back to school to finish school.
I mean, I think probably a lot of us have gone through that same situation where we either got feedback or we look at somebody else's work and we're like, my stuff isn't that good. My stuff isn't as good as book A, book B. Should I even be doing this? But at least for me, I tell myself, this is a dream I've always had. And right now, financially, it's not a burden on my family. So If I can keep doing it financially, I'm going to keep doing it, just because the more I'm going to do it, the more I'm going to get better at it. I mean, and it sounds stupid. It sounds so cliche when you say it out loud, but it's true. If I go back and look at my first issue of Shaman's Destiny #1 compared to what I'm doing right now for, there's a couple books I'm working on right now for other people. And the work I did initially was just horrible when I go back and look at that compared to what I'm doing now. So I can understand where you get that discouragement from. And I'm glad you kept going on it though.
Yeah, actually, for Heat, I feel the same way. Like my first issue of Heat, I people will tell me how much they like it, and I can't look at it. It's so hard for me to go back and look at it, especially like I can look at this, I can look at this and be happy with what I've done in it. And I'm like, I just read it recently because I don't really go back and read my books because once again, I'm doing everything. So by the time I'm done with it, I'm like, get out of my face. Let's go do the new thing. But like the first book I put out, I actually did I was given the opportunity to write an article for Bleeding Cool, kind of pitching it. Not pitching it, but doing, marketing for it. And you know how they tell you don't read the comment section?
Yeah.
I was stupid.
Yeah.
And I read the comment section. And guys were like, oh, you need to get a new artist. You need to learn how to draw. And like, I remember reading it and I remember getting so like angry and down. And my wife was like, you really shouldn't have read it. And I'm like, I know. And then so what I did is I kind of went back and I went and I read them again, but I read it in the manner of when I used to be in art school and taking the critique. And so I sifted through the BS to what the actual what a good critique is. And then I went back to the book because this is before the book even came out. And I went back and I looked at some of the pages and I said, I can do this page better. I can do this page better. And so I just redid the pages. And so now I feel better about the book, but like now I don't read comment section, nothing. But I haven't run into any like bad, negative, anything like it for, I've talked to people who've had different experiences starting out in the comic book industry. And I've honestly got nothing but love. Every Comic-Con, I've had people come back. I've had people buy my original artwork. I've got fans, which is weird for me to say, but I've got people who show up when I'm showing up, and it'd be the same, 3 or 4 people, but they show up.
So. All right, well, let's go back to that Bleeding Cool. I actually read that interview.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at anybody. Go ahead.
And in that interview, you mentioned that the first character you ever created was a character called Solar Man. Back when you were like a little boy. I see. I do our research on you. So
yeah.
Is there a possibility Solar Man will ever reappear? And will he fight Meteor Man?
Solar Man is pretty much heat. Solar Man is pretty much heat. Solar Man is evolved.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
It is pretty much like all my stuff that I put out. Believe it or not, I have all the little stapled together. When I was a kid, I used to make the comics and staple them together and then show them to my mom and be like, hey, Mom, look what I did. And then, she'd be like, oh, that's great. And then she would take them and she would put them in a box. And so, but I mean, she kept them. So like, I have all those books and I've literally gone back in there and been like, there's a good idea there. I'm going to take that and I'm going to make it a character. So Solar Man is pretty much the forerunner for Heat.
Can't Solar Man be like his dad?
I think there's already a Solar Man though.
Okay.
I think there might already be one.
But I'm sure.
There's a Solar. So
yes.
If we ever do that Ace Blade Heat crossover, the Ace Blade is definitely calling them Solar Man. That's gonna happen.
I've been thinking, honestly, like the wheels have been turning, man. The wheels have been turning, man, on a visually stoked fourth wall crossover. So
we're gonna make it happen.
I'm dead serious, man. Like that's why I bought your book.
We're gonna make it happen.
You bought Danny's book?
I did. I bought Danny's book. I did. I got Danny's book. I got Lumberjacks over there. We gonna make it happen.
Okay. I'm sorry you had to buy his book.
Terrible. But man, I know if people follow us, they know we're together on Top 5 Live on the show that we co-host with Morgan Iverson. And like Amani said, you're so much calmer on this podcast. You're so much calmer. Is that just the format? This is more of an interview type of feel, or is it just the showman in you? The showman in you for I got you, Amani. Don't worry about it. I got you. Or is that just the showman in you? When we're on the other podcast, you got to bring the heat.
Or is it also just because Morgan's not on this podcast?
That too. Morgan just, you know what though? Danny's lists like baffle me.
They're usually trash.
Morgan's lists infuriate me. So, like between the two of them, I just like I feel like, oh Jesus. So,
okay, I do the same thing because Danny will send me his list before your guys' show, and I'll be like, "What the hell is that? What are you doing,
bro? Listen, I've got like people, people I know who watch our show religiously. They're always like, "What is up with Danny? He's got to be trolling."
Hey, my lists are always honest. I know y'all, but y'all be making y'all's list based on what you think the audience is gonna think.
That's not
my
true.
List come from my heart.
That's not true at all, though. That's actually a problem. If it's coming from your heart, that's a problem. You might need to go to a doctor. You might get that checked. You might have a irregular heartbeat or something. I don't know.
I'm having an arrhythmia or something.
You got heart arrhythmia or something. You might need to work on that. I'm worried about you.
All right, so I guess since we are talking about top 5, the podcast. If for anybody that's not familiar with it, how would you describe the top 5 live podcast?
Insanity.
Okay.
Nah, I would call it an intense debate between sarcastic black men.
Nice. Okay.
That's exactly what it is. We literally, the three of us can probably argue about anything that exists on this planet.
And you do.
We still do. Even off air, we're arguing on our little chat. Like I've woken up to Danny and Morgan arguing overnight about something. And like I wake up and I'm scrolling through and I'm like, guys, do y'all sleep?
Morgan does not sleep. I've seen his podcast go 4 hours long. He does not sleep.
Yes. Morgan definitely doesn't sleep.
Listen, I have gotten off top 5 live and like gone and did something, and then I'll come back and accidentally turn it on, and he's still going.
Yes.
And I'm like, this man got a lot to say, so
well, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad.
Danny and Morgan are like polar opposites. It's like Danny got to go quick, Morgan got to go long.
Well, see, Danny goes quick because he has so many other things he's doing. He's got like 5 other podcasts he'd be on. He's got to write Ace Blade. He actually wants to spend time with his family. So he'd be like, I got to put my list in and I'm out. Don't bother me. I'm in and I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I said, I just, and I know we probably talk about it, but I just started my podcast, a Stoked podcast this week. So my schedule is filling up. I'm doing heat number 2 of the ongoing series. I'm looking at the pages. Can't show them yet.
Good.
I can't show them.
You know Danny's team.
I just got pencils. I'm not ready.
Yeah, so it's not even a spoiler. It's just
it's definitely a spoiler. Everything is spoiler. Everything is a spoiler. But so I got that. The book that I talked about that I did between Heat, the 2 Heat books. I will finish it. It will come out this year. Most of the stuff I'm going to be putting out will be closer to con season.
Okay.
I'm trying to put together my schedule for cons right now. They're kind of like, I don't know what's going on. I know I'm trying to do a lot of the Fan Expo Comic Cons. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get a professional badge for it, but they kind of haven't figured out who to give for those. But I'm definitely going to be doing Terrificon in Connecticut. I'm going to try and do Dragon Con. It's really doing Dragon Con is only hard for me because the hotels are ridiculous. Yeah. You're talking like over $1,000 just for a hotel. We'll see.
That's one of the main reasons why I have not done any cons on the East Coast yet. It's just hotel and travel costs. It's just ridiculous. Unless I can go with somebody else and split costs, I'm probably not going to do anything anytime soon.
So, I mean, I have yet to do a Comic-Con where I didn't at least break even. At least. And I mean break even with like table, hotel, and travel. Like Dragon Con, I did almost $3 or $4 grand at Dragon Con. Nice. Terrificon, I've always done. I appreciate that. Terrificon, I've had great experiences. Like and it's funny because I talked to so many people who've done Comic-Cons and they're like, man, I didn't do nothing this year. And I'm like, I'm okay. Like I'm not going home with a lot of books.
All right. The worst I've ever done is I made $12 at one event. This was at a 3-day event too.
Wow.
It was $12. But it was an anime themed event. And my stuff is anime centric, so I was like, all right. But yeah,
I probably am not doing that. I probably wouldn't do that.
All right.
Although my stuff has been somebody said my art looks anime, and I'm like, what animes you watching? But okay, thank you.
Hey, take it where you can get it.
I know, right?
All right. Well, this is about the time where we let Danny do his thing, and we have crap, Morgan's on.
Terrible. Ain't nobody talking crap
we
about
ain't talking
you,
behind your back, dude. We're live online.
Wait, look at that. The moment Morgan gets on, both of y'all just got up to another level.
So you see who it is. I just will point that out.
We just
both of y'all just went
right now.
We were both chill. Then Morgan came on.
Like Danny saw Morgan and he sat up. He's like, "Oh, what?"
Terrible.
I gotta get ready, dude.
It's the energy. It's that Morgan.
It is. It's the energy. But I love it. That's why people watch, though. Like the people I've talked to, that's why they watch.
Yeah, they get something from all of us. It's a balance.
Yeah, it's like it's like NBA. What is it? NBA. With Chuck and
NBA,
or
TNT.
TNT. Yeah, when you got like the four of them together, individually, they entertaining, but when the four of them get together, they lose it. So that's what we got.
All right, Javon. So we got a special edition. If you watch the show, I spend hours stalking our guests in their social medias, and I come up with some questions. So today we're going to do quick takes, and this is because we have six. We actually have 6 quick take questions for you. We usually do 5, but we're going to do 6. We're going to do 6 quick take questions.
I feel special.
For Javon. So you get 45 seconds on the clock to answer these 6 questions off the top of your head.
All right.
And we'll go 1 through 5, and then we'll do the one that I added on.
Okay.
So
I only have 5 questions. Am I putting that other one back in? Is that what's happening?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for letting me know, dude.
That's how we do it on this show, off the cuff.
I see.
All right, so we'll go 1 through 5, Kyrun. So question number 1. Okay. When it comes to comic books, what is more important, artists or writers?
Artists. It's comic book. It's visual media. Artists.
So writers aren't important, right?
You said what's more important. See, this is why we argue.
So writers are just useless. We don't.
No, you said what's more important, and if it's a comic book, it's artists. Otherwise, it's a book.
Okay, all right. I see how you do. That's all good. That's why I'm developing my art game this year. I've been doing a little something.
Using up all your time just to.
Once I get this art together, it's over. I'm wrong. Once I get done with this
all your time to tell me I'm wrong.
Once I get done with this art stuff, it's over for y'all.
Right? Listen, I give you some tips.
I'd appreciate it. All right. So question number 2. I'm gonna ask it like this. You can only have one of these situations. Which would you prefer to have? Somebody buy your comic and not read it, or somebody steal your comic but read the whole thing and become a dedicated fan? So which would you rather have? Somebody buying your comic or reading your comic? And I think I already know your answer.
Wait, so is it just buying or reading, or is it your insane scenario?
It's the insane scenario, but you can only have.
So the person who steals it, are they going to come back and buy more books?
I didn't say all that. I just said that they become a dedicated fan.
Well, you can't become a dedicated fan without buying more books. So they come back and buy more books? Them all.
They can keep stealing them.
No, you got to buy my book. I don't care if you don't read it. Buy my book.
So you rather somebody buy every one of your books than somebody enjoy the
steal
story.
every one of my books? Yes.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
No, absolutely not. I got bills, bro. You crazy? You can't be a dedicated reader and stealing them.
Okay, so writers don't matter, and I don't care if you like my stories. Okay,
that's not what I said, but you gave me the insane scenario, so
some random dude just popping up stealing every one of your books and you not noticing. Whatever.
Yeah, like what? They can't come up to me at a Comic-Con and be like, "Hey," because I know I remember almost every face of the person who's buying my book.
Let me get that.
Yeah.
Just walking up and snatching stuff.
Right.
You got that new Solar Man? Let me get that. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Question number 3. What is better? Which one is better? Big shows or local events?
Better? Damn, that's hard. I like big shows. And that's only because I get to meet, artists who I've enjoyed, whose work I've enjoyed. And I get to cultivate relationships with actually people in the industry and stuff like that. I mean, little shows are nice because you get a little more time with people, but I can do both. Like I can have a little time with people at big shows and cultivate my career. So yeah, I like big shows.
I knew your answer was going to be there. I think you told me about you met George Perez at a big show, right?
I met George Perez. I've become very cool with Rags Morales.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Rags had drinks and dinner actually with Jim Shooter.
Oh, nice.
Jim is actually a really good guy.
Listen, he was such a good guy. Not only was he a good guy, he gave me his card and his email, said if you need anything, just reach out to me. He didn't have to do that for nothing. And that I've had a multitude of experiences. I got to what's the editor for Marvel? Who's the editor in chief for Marvel? What's his name?
Now?
Yeah, not editor in chief. He's not Joe, but the other
Sabluski, whatever.
Yeah. I met him, and he was nice enough to kind of look at my work, and he gave me his card and was like, "Hey, reach out to this person. We're gonna try and work something out." So I was able to do some samples for them.
Wasn't he the guy that said he was Asian for a while?
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. I'm not burning my bridge. Don't burn my bridge. Don't burn my bridge. I'm not gonna do that. He's a nice guy.
All right.
Don't burn my bridge. I don't burn bridges.
Sorry, CB.
I don't burn bridges.
We'll go to number 4.
Don't burn bridges.
All right. So which do you prefer? Or which is better? The Marvel Cinematic Universe or the DC animated universe, and why?
Marvel. DC animated is nice and I enjoy it, but they don't give me the same visceral feeling that Marvel movies give. Like I haven't seen anything from DC's animated universe, or very few things that can reach like anything in Endgame or Avengers or anything like that. That goosebump feeling, I don't get a lot of that. Like I enjoy it. Like I love Justice League. I love, Batman the Animated Series, all that stuff. But the Marvel movies give you goosebumps.
With Justice League Doom or the Flashpoint Paradox, like those movies, I understand they don't have the interconnectedness, so they don't have the build up that the MCU has. But I was talking to Kyrun before the show, and that dang on Injustice movie, even though I didn't read the comics, I really enjoyed it. Like it was
I haven't
really,
seen it
really
yet.
good to me.
I haven't seen it. I have the Injustice series. Like I'm looking at it right now, and I enjoy the Injustice series. So, but I still think Marvel does such a great job of not only distilling what's what's important and what's cool about the characters, they also do a great job of doing a different take on it.
Okay. All right. So 5th question, and this one you might have to think about a little bit.
All right.
Because I know how much you like both of these things. So which one is more important? Which one is more important for a comic book industry, and which is more important to you? Cosplay or fan art?
Fan art. I'd say fan art. Well, because here's the thing: the industry existed long before cosplay. Sure. And fan art is like if I had somebody draw Heat for me and send it to me, and I thought that was cool. And to me, I mean, cosplay is great, and it'd be cool. I've never seen anybody cosplay as Heat, but fan art to me, because I like seeing that talent. Because I'm an artist, I like seeing that talent. So I guess it's more important. Plus, you get more creators you can get creators in the industry out of it.
I feel you on that. Okay, so artists are more important than writers and cosplayers. Okay, got you.
When you sent me that question, that was not the question I thought you were going to ask him. I thought you were going to say, which one do you not like more? Honestly.
Do you not like more?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, dude. It's your thing. Whatever.
You see? This is what we deal with in top 5. You just be sitting there, you just be rubbing your head like, this is why you get a different Javon on there than you do here.
Terrible. Okay, well, here's this last special question is going to bring out the Javon we all know and love.
Oh boy!
In 45 seconds, I need you to formulate your top 5 comic book characters off the top of your head.
That I like, or of all time?
Of all time. Top 5 greatest comic book characters of all time.
Superman, Batman, Spider-Man.
That's where you always get stuck. That 4 and 5. 4 and 5 always get you.
I guess I would have to say Captain America. And then I would say probably because of the impact that the character had. Are we talking superheroes or just comic book characters?
Comic book characters.
See, that's harder.
Time. Come on,
that's harder.
8 seconds.
I guess I'll go with not Zorro, the Phantom.
The Phantom. So no women on your list. No Wonder Woman. Okay, I see. So you hate
Morgan talking about
writers. You hate writers?
Wait a minute, time out. See, I'm going to shift to top 5, Javon, for a second. The person who literally talks about how he doesn't read comic books or he hasn't read comic books until like 5 seconds ago, going to tell me that this ain't hard.
Morgan, drop your list in the comments right now. 45 seconds. Drop your list in the comments.
This man, listen, man. All right, I'm back.
I'm surprised you didn't put Heat in your top 5.
I'm surprised too.
Listen, man, we tried, man.
I just knew he was going to put Heat in
your list. No, man. This is your list of your favorite characters.
I'm a historian, though. I'm a man. I'm a student of the history of comic books. So there are way more comic book characters that I could bring up off top of my head that were important, like Doc Savage, older characters. Like I could say Swamp Thing, because Swamp Thing was really important. Swamp Thing and Alan Moore's treatment of him kind of grew comics up a little bit. I should just started recollecting that series right there too. See, Morgan, you see? I just want y'all to understand that it's not me and it ain't Danny. See, me and Danny have been cool this entire interview.
Morgan is an instigator is what we're finding out.
Don't you think,
I'm glad people can see this.
Do you think Spider-Man has kind of overtaken Superman and Batman now?
I think he overtook Spider-Man overtook Superman years ago.
I agree. What about Batman? You think Batman's still number 1?
Based off the amount of Batman books that are on the shelves right now, yes.
Yeah.
I think Batman has been number one since the late 80s. Since the late 80s, Batman has been.
Batman was number one before the late 80s, bro. Batman is very, very rarely has there been a time in history where he hasn't been the most successful character. Because you can go back to the Adam West TV show. He's all Naruto. Okay. You can always go back. He's always been the guy, and DC pushes him a lot because he brings in money.
That's why you find Batman in almost every book there is. That's why he started the Outsiders. That's why he's in JLA, because they know that he's going to push the sale no matter what it is.
I mean, they're doing another Batman movie,
but only Bruce Wayne Batman. No, none of these other Batmans will do.
Nope. I don't want to get into that argument. I'm not a legacy guy, man.
None of I know you're not. I'm just saying that Bruce Wayne been around a long time, but
yes.
It's time to let it go. It's time to let the trauma go, Bruce. Let it go.
And now a word from our sponsor.
And now back to the show.
Did you guys ever hear that theory that Alfred is actually the main villain in Gotham? That he basically just hires all these people?
Yeah, I saw that. I think that would be a cool story. Somebody to write that. I'm actually not the biggest Batman fan, believe it or not.
I'm not anymore. I used to be a huge Batman fan, but I'm not in the in these more current years. I'm into other stuff.
I mean, if you would ask me my favorite characters, I would probably say I love Captain America. I'm a huge Nightwing fan.
Wait, actually, your top 5 favorite characters. You didn't mention Nightwing.
You said top 5.
No, I said greatest. I said greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time. You didn't ask me top 5 favorite.
All right,
favorite. There's a difference between favorite, best, and greatest. We discuss this on our show all the time. Favorite is all objective, personal.
Favorite is what Danny does every week. Yeah. Favorite is what Danny does every week. I just want you guys to understand, when you watch top 5, if it's a top 5 list, it is Danny's favorite. Don't listen to him. He's not doing best. He's not doing greatest. That's why Brandy be on every single show.
Brandy's been on 2 of my lists out of all our shows.
Too many. That's
too
many.
Get your life together.
All right. I had a question just based off of the research I found from you.
Okay.
And then you can put it as a top 5, I guess, also. But I read somewhere that you have wanted to write the New Warriors at one point. And I'm a huge New Warriors fan from the 90s. Yeah. So I guess I want to know, who are your favorite New Warriors?
I like the original. The original 7? 6 or 7. Night Thrasher, Nova, Justice, Firestar, Namorita, Speedball, and then Silhouette.
Now,
go ahead.
I was going to say, what was it about New Warriors that just attracted you so much? Because you don't get a lot of people saying New Warriors was one of their favorite books.
I did buy the original #1 when it came out because I am one of those guys that are like, oh, black superhero? Hey, I'll read that. And so, you see Night Thrasher, and I just gravitated towards him. And once I started reading that, so I've always loved New Warriors. I got New Warriors books over there too. I actually did a drawing of New Warriors. I'll put up on the website. People have been trying to buy that thing off me for years, and I just haven't. I'm just not ready to give it up yet. It'll happen someday, but yeah, that's my. I got 3 Dream series to write. New Warriors is one, Nightwing is the other, and Captain America is the last one.
You remove Captain America and maybe replace it with somebody else, and your list might be the same as mine then.
What'd you say? Say it again.
If you remove Captain America and replace it with somebody else, your list might be the same as mine.
I started liking Captain America I didn't like Captain America until Mark Waid and Ron Garney did their run.
Oh, okay.
Mark Waid did a lot for a lot of characters. He brought a lot of that Daredevil. I mean Hawkeye.
Yeah, he's my favorite writer. He's probably I have more his stuff than probably anybody else. He's why I'm a big Wally West Flash fan. I have his Justice League run. I have his book, not Invincible, Irredeemable. I love Irredeemable. I don't know if you guys have ever read it, but to me, it's the best Superman Gone Bad book that's ever gone out.
He wrote that. Mark Waid wrote that Justice League Doom.
Yeah.
That
he just puts fire out every time, to use Morgan's word. But I Captain America, and then like I loved Mark Waid's run, and then when Ed Brubaker came in, that was like he just literally kicked in the door, put his whole foot in it, and I was captivated. And I've been a fan of that ever since. And for Nightwing, Chuck Dixon and Scott McDaniel. Well, I like Nightwing back in New Teen Titans. I love that run, George Perez and Marv Wolfman. So I loved them there. But when Chuck Dixon and Scott McDaniels did Nightwing, bruh, you couldn't tell me nothing. I bought that every month. I bought it. But I still got them somewhere around here.
Nightwing's getting a lot of play these days too.
Say what?
Nightwing's getting a lot of play these days too.
As he should.
Trying to kill him at DC though. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like they're setting him up to become the next Batman again.
You want to come say hi
again? You know who's going to be the next Batman again?
Well, he was Batman for a while. He's been Batman a couple times. So.
What's up, buddy?
All right. I'll see you later, okay? Go play with mommy. Go. You got to go.
I got my coffee.
Okay.
Javon, before we let you go, tell us about your what you got coming up. I know you got a podcast you talk about.
Go ahead, buddy. All right. This Thursday is the real launch. It was like a soft launch. Yes, Tom Taylor does a great Nightwing. It was a soft launch for a Stoked podcast. This one is the real launch. We have Jamal Eagle as our guest. It's a lot more interview based. We do a little bit of discussion, talk about what I'm stoked about and what I'm not stoked about. And then, Jamal's going to talk, and, it's going to be nice vibe, just like this. You guys have a nice vibe here.
That's because we don't have Morgan.
Pretty much. Listen, Danny and Morgan will be on the show for the 3rd episode in 3 weeks. I have promised to be calmer on
That's
that
not gonna happen.
I'm going to try.
That is not going to happen.
We'll see.
That is not going to happen.
I will try. Morgan, he can infuriate me, but it's all love infuriation. Everybody, I'm not actually angry at Morgan. I've had people be like, "Man, you get so mad at him." I'm like, honestly, I'm not really. It's funny.
I put the over under on 1 minute and 30 seconds before y'all start arguing.
I'll take that bet. Bet.
Your intro is probably gonna be like 45 seconds of that. So
I'll take that bet. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. I have a young lady, director, writer, casting director. Her name is LaQuanda Plant. She'll be on the 2nd episode, and then for the 4th episode, rounding out the first 4 weeks, will be George Gant, who does To Beware the Toddler.
Yep.
He's graciously agreed to jump on, and then after that, I've got a few people who have expressed a desire to come on, or who have said that they've been willing to come on. It's going to be a show that's not just comic books. It's, whatever, like I want to learn as much as I want to talk about on the show. So, I've got people who are going to come on and talk about fitness. I've got people who's going to come on and talk about, I know I have a friend of mine who I'm going to reach out and see if he wants to talk about coronavirus, because he does a lot of work with it. A lot of entertainment industry, some music. I've got some big names I'm shooting for. We'll see. Nice. And then go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say. So where can anybody catch these episodes at?
Well, you can always go to visuallystoked.com. You can also go to Facebook. I have a group page, a Stoked podcast. You can look there, and you can go to the Visually Stoked page on Facebook. So yeah, those few anywhere Visually Stoked is, I'm gonna have the podcast available. So that's what I have coming up for the podcast. For the comic book, like I said, I'm gonna Heat number 2. Hopefully, will be out around April or May. Actually, I'm hoping it's out in March if I can draw fast enough. We'll see. I'm trying, man. I really am. It takes me a while to draw.
Quality, not quantity.
Yeah, it really does. I used to do that. Like I was like, man, I got to draw faster. But then I would look back and be like, man, if I just taken a little bit more time, it would look better. So I've decided I'm going to take my time since ain't nobody paying me to go faster. I'm a draw, at my leisure.
See, Danny's not an artist, so he doesn't understand that the faster you go doesn't create good artwork. He's a writer. He expects us to just bust out pages like 3 times a day. But
I've always said that, and I know other people say it, but every writer should try and draw a complete book.
No,
write a script and draw a complete. I'm dead serious.
No, ain't happening. I fully respect the artistry. I understand what it takes to lay out pages and panels and all that stuff. That's why I never wanted to draw my own stuff, because I know that it would never get put out if I were drawing it.
Yeah, you never know, man. I've seen a lot of artists who, their artwork isn't like Jim Lee, but they selling units, man.
Yeah. I mean,
the story is important regardless of what you think. I think the story is very important. If you got a nice story, the artwork can be limited or kitsch, and people pick it up if you could sell it. Yeah, that's really what it boils down to. That's my advice for every person who wants to be in the industry. You better figure out how to sell your stuff, because there are a lot of people doing it.
Legit.
All right. Well, I guess this is the end of the. This is definitely the end of the show because Danny's up here flashing LeBron.
Danny, come on, man. Listen, I give it to you. LeBron is the second best player of all time.
I'll take it.
If Danny, just answer me this question. I want you to just answer me this question. If you took a team with, let's say you could clone a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the greatest four greatest basketball players versus the same teams, and you took LeBron and put on one and Jordan and put him on the other, and you did a 7-game series. Who you think is leading their team to the win?
What you mean leading?
With your life on the line.
You mean leading in scoring or leading the team? Because that's a different thing.
No, it's not.
I know Jordan can score better than LeBron. He's a scorer. But if it's a team game, which basketball is, I want LeBron on my team.
But so you're talking as if Jordan doesn't lead teams, though.
By punching people in the face? Like what? Like I don't need to punch Steve Kerr in the chest to get him to do his job. Like,
all right. Do you think how great do you think he has to be that that Jordan can lead 6 teams to victories?
It wasn't 6. It was the same. It was basically the same team all
the
6
first
seasons.
the first 3 and the second 3 were not the same team.
Okay, so it was 2 teams then. It was basically 2 teams with the same.
They're still not the same team.
With the same coach and the same superstar and the same second greatest person.
I mean, you could say the same thing about LeBron when he was in Miami with Wade and Bosh.
Yeah.
I mean, how many like Hall of Fame caliber players does like LeBron need? Like you
seriously,
like everybody keeps like the people who disagree about Jordan will always say, well, Jordan had Scotty and Jordan had this, but then they ignore it and be like, well,
because y'all don't think continuity is important. And I do. Like if you work with the same art team on your comic book for 100 issues, it's going to be easier for you to work with that team than just putting together a team for 2 books and then 2 books and then 2 books. It's different. Continuity is important.
Okay, Danny, but if you and I did a book for 100 issues, right?
Yeah,
we might have a really good run, right? Hold on, just listen. Forget Morgan. Listen to me. Look here.
I'm going back to this argument.
Look at me. If you and I did a run,
the host now.
You and I did a run for 100 issues. We would have great continuity, and it would be a great story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Mark Waid and Alex Ross did 4 books,
damn,
who do you think is going to be better?
So we talk about Kingdom Come.
Do you think we could do 100 books better than 4 books of
no disrespect to us.
I think I'm a pretty good artist.
No disrespect to us.
What'd you say?
No disrespect to us, but we're not LeBron James, okay?
But I'm just saying though. But but you talking about continuity, and that's my thing. When you're great, like you just are great. And LeBron is great. He's able to go into teams and they can go to the finals. And I give him so much credit for that. But he hasn't closed as much as his greatness should have.
I like how this episode has basically just become top 5 part 2 for y'all.
I'm actually a lot calmer talking to Danny now than I would be.
Again, because
like
Morgan is not here.
I don't have a problem with. I think nobody can match what Jordan has done for the game of basketball. The impact that he had on the game is unmatched. He changed the game in ways that nobody else ever will, and I think that's amazing. But when it strictly comes to the championships, I think we did it on Agents of Nerdy last night too. When it comes to the championships are a team accomplishment, from the coaches to Jerry Krause to dang on Tony Kukoc. Everybody plays a part in that. And Michael Jordan was the biggest part of it. But I don't weigh those as heavily as other people. And that's
let me ask you this question. Do you think they're winning 6 championships without Jordan?
No.
Okay.
I do not.
Okay. So then you have to acknowledge how his greatness. Well, but the Miami Heat won a championship without LeBron.
With Shaq?
Really? Shaq wasn't as Shaq as he was in LA
just left
at that time. He wasn't as much. He admitted it himself, though. He admitted it that Dwayne Wade carried him to that championship.
Absolutely.
Right.
But he was still
you can't
enough
just
of
be
Shaq
he had
to contribute. He wasn't Shaq. He Cleveland.
I'm just gonna go ahead and start drawing.
Shaq in Miami.
So y'all
Okay, yeah. Let's. I quit.
I'm just gonna do this. I would do this. Go to visuallystoked.com and get Heat #1. You can get the full collection. It's called Undeserving, and then you can get Black Flame. You can get this hoodie, my Heat hoodie. Look at that, nice. You can get t-shirts. I got t-shirts. I got children's books. I am going to do a children's book this year. That is a goal of mine. I have a children's book that I'm going to do. I'm saying that loud to put it out there, so I have people who are going to force me to do it.
We're going to get your son to hold you to that.
Yeah, people going to hold me to it. So I am going to try and do a children's book. I actually just figured out the story today. So look, but that's going to be later in the year. So if you're looking for something to get for your kid for Christmas, hopefully I'm done by then. But yes, get Heat is my baby. I love it. Awesome. It's my life's work so far.
Kyrun?
All right, Danny, where can we find your work at?
I was about to ask you the same thing. All right, so if you want to find me, you can search for The Ace Blade on any social media, or you can go to our website, www.fourthwallpros.com. What about you, Kyrun?
You can find me at tauruscomics.com. I am also on Twitter and Instagram at tauruscomics. I find me on Facebook and Taurus Comics. I can't think of anything else I'm on. So just look up Taurus Comics and I should be the only thing that pops up. But if this is your first time checking out our podcast, please go back and listen to our other episodes. You can go to 4talespodcast.com. That's the number 4, TALES podcast.com. Search us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, 4 Tales Podcast. But Javon, thank you for being on the show. This has been fun. I knew this would basically become top 5 live part 2, but or part 3, whatever you guys want to call it. But this was fun, man. So we got to have you on again.
One last thing.
Okay.
We know way too many creators. I've been wanting to say this, and I was going to say it on top 5, but I'll say it here, and I'll probably say it on top 5 there. We know way too many creators that we shouldn't do an indie crossover event style book that can get everybody's audiences together to share this wealth. So listen, I'm down. Holla at me. If anybody else is down, you can reach me on Facebook. I just want to get it done. There's just way too much, there's way too much talent, and there's way too many cool characters that I would love to see them interact and to do a really big book that we can all sell and make money off of it. So y'all, if anybody's interested, holla at me, man.
I'm down as long as I can get a fight where my character Saw beats up lumberjacks. So I'm down.
Hey, listen, we just gonna have one scene in the book where everybody just takes turns just elbowing, lumberjacks.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Just one scene in the whole book.
Terrible. This was a good show, man. I appreciate y'all. We'll catch y'all next time.
All right,
so, everybody.
Until our next episode is in 2 weeks, where we'll have Travis Give from Orange Cone Productions. But until then, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
All right.
Music provided by my brother, Quix Made It. Find him online in YouTube, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.